Hey guys, what's up? This is the other half 1993. It is Tuesday as I've first posting this, and as promised, every 2 weeks I have a deck profile for you. And this time I'm doing my tournament deck, my regional deck, my tier 1 deck, which would be my Gladiator Beast deck. This deck has actually been changed around a lot, and I'm still not 100% sure about it. I definitely well, not definitely, but I'll probably make some more adjustments to it as time passes. But yeah, this is what I'm looking to use at regionals and whatnot. So I guess without any further ado, let's get started. First up, and probably most obvious, are three test tigers. Pretty self-explanatory. Although one thing, I don't know, Japan, as some of you may or may not know, doesn't like using three test tiger for whatever reason. They they often use one, if any at all. They actually use test tape a lot, which I've kind of been meaning to mess around with test tape to see exactly how effective it is. Um, but as far as using less than three test tigers goes, it's pretty much mandatory in Gladiator Beasts. It's such a useful monster. Um, Next up is Gladiator Beast Hoplomos, fairly self-explanatory. I love Hoplomos, probably one of my favorite Gladiator Beasts to use. Um, just because he's a wall, and a lot of people have a really tough time getting over him. I love this guy. Next up is two Gladiator Beasts Darius, which I'll be the first to say I was really skeptical about two Darius. I used one for a really long time. But I was also using Airbellum for a while, and I found I didn't need to synchro a lot after Dark Strike Fighter got banned. But I did find there were situations where a second Darius would have been pretty helpful. So I've been trying it out. I used Darius. I've been testing with it. I used the second one. And it's definitely more useful than I initially thought it would be. Again, I was really skeptical about it first, but I'm definitely keeping a second Darius over Airbellum. Next up is Secutor, which is Secutor is something that some people are a little bit against using. I've always loved Secutor. I do tend to open with him a lot, but I don't really care because if you've got him down with a Wabaku, you're pretty much just safe. And I actually like to bluff a lot with this guy. I'll tag into him and then set like a bottomless or something and pass. Obviously, my opponent will think it's a Wabaku. It doesn't always work, but it's fun when you do get something out of that. I would probably not ever try it at a regional, but probably not. Anyway, ignoring my horrible grammar. Next up are two a quest. When I said Hoplomos is one of my favorites, I was also thinking of a quest. A quest is such a beast. I love a quest. This his ability to fetch any Glad Beast card in the graveyard is just phenomenal. I don't know, Gladiator or a quest is something I think every Glad Beast player without question should use two of. He's just an amazing card overall. Next up are two Salmonite. Obviously, Salmonite's only in here for Rescue Cat. If Rescue Cat ever got banned, I might keep one Salmonite, but probably not. Anyway. And then also Rescue Cat himself. Rescue Cat is one of those cards where it's nice to have a lot of the time, but it's not really necessary by any means. It is really nice if you get him off. Just because he has a potential to put either two 1600 beat 6 on the field or get any tagged in Gladiator effect, so that's always nice. Another card I was skeptical about for the longest time, not the longest time, but for a while was Prisma. I didn't really think he was that necessary. But then again, I started playing with him and I found out that Prisma is actually a really cool card to have. But one, I can't stress this enough, I would never use more than one Prisma as long as Bestiary is limited. Just because if you open with Prisma and Bestiary, Prisma is more or less useless. So, one, and I stress this enough, one Prisma. To Lucari, obvious enough. He's a 18/21 beater and makes Circulanos. Butieri, again, fairly obvious. I love this guy almost as much as a Quest and Hopalmos. He's just a really, really handy monster to have. Bestiary, obvious, makes Gyzerus. Murmillo, obvious, makes or destroys monsters. And finally, one Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon, even without Airbellum, has just been such a... I love Cyber Dragon. Just the fact that you can put a 21 beat stick on the field for no cost. I don't know. It's a really nice card to have. So, that's all for monsters. And that was 19 monsters, I believe. 18 or 19. No, 19, yeah. Which does seem like a lot for Gladiators, and I think it is kind of a lot. But, I don't know. It's been working fairly decently. Next up are spells, which there are not a lot of. Proving Ground. Proving Ground was merely a filler card. It was either this or Smashing Ground to make 40. And I like Proving Ground a lot more. Yeah, Proving Ground is nice when you have like a Glad Beast in play and you want to get Bestiary to make Gyzerus, but most of the time I end up siding this out because Proving Ground is a card you can side out with no repercussion at all, almost, so yeah. Mystical Space Typhoon, obviously Spell Trap Destruction. Heavy, again, obviously Spell Trap Destruction. I've been thinking of adding a Trunade, just because I have been having trouble with like Oppression and Skill Drain lately, but like, that's also what Cold Wave here is for. Well, not Skill Drain, but Oppression and Face Down is what Cold Wave is for. Cold Wave, like Prisma and Secondarius, I was really skeptical about at first, but it has been working wonders. So I'm definitely keeping Cold Wave. 3 Book of Moon. As I said in my x-saber video, Book of Moon is just one of those cards that I think it's pretty much a staple to me. Maybe not 3 Book of Moon, but at least 2 Book of Moon has always been a staple to me. And with Glads, it can really help. You can flip something down and kill it, or flip Stardust down to prevent it from getting off for a turn. And then finally, the last 2 spells are 2 My Body's a Shield, which is probably the techiest card I have in the deck. And a lot of people have been questioning about the use of 2. I know some people use 1. So people ask me a lot of the time why I choose to use 2 My Body's a Shield. If you really think about it, there are just so many monster destruction effects out there right now. I mean, you've got Murmillo, Dad, Celestia, JD, Black Rose Dragon, Gyzerus, Miravos, Bottomless, Torrential, Smashing, Mirror Force, and that's Lightning Vortex. There's just so many out there, and My Body's a Shield is such a nice card to have. I can't tell you how many times it saved me, especially from Mirror of Oaths. This is what that's mostly used against, and obviously JD and Celestia, because there's a lot of Lightsworn in my local area, but whatever. Okay, let's hurry up and finish this. I have 3 more minutes. It's a little bit. Trap Dust Shoot, again, mostly filler, but I've always liked Dust Shoot, but like I said, it's mostly filler. If I win game 1, I always side this out, obviously because you're not going first, and any other time Dust Shoot is kind of a bad card to have. But I usually, and obviously after game 2 going into game 3, I sided out if I lost game 1. So it's one of those cards that's pretty much filler and easy to side out, kind of like Proving Ground. Call of the Haunted, staple. Solemn Judgment, pretty much a staple for Glads. Like My Body's a Shield, it's just added protection. 3 Wabaku, staples and Glads, obviously protects them in battle and gets you a free tag in. Some people don't really agree with me on this, but I do always side these out against the mirror match, because if you think about it, they are pretty much useless against the mirror match. Okay, let's see. Mirror Force, staple. Torrential, staple. 2 War Chariot. Some people like to use 3. 2 is enough, in my opinion, especially if you're recycling them with a quest. You really don't need 3. Finally, 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. It's one of those near staples. To me, it's like Book of Moon, where there are very few decks I build that don't have Bottomless in them. I'm really mad that the Bamas took one of them away from me, but I still like to. And I guess since we have we have a minute left, so I guess I'll go ahead and show you my side deck too. Swallow Flip, I side 3 of these against a mirror match. A lot of people ask me why I side these over 3 mirror of oaths. Swallow Flip is just, it hits all the same gladiators, but it's a counter trap, so it's more difficult to stop. And also, it negates the effect. Because, like, most of the time, I know if I tag it in a quest, I kind of don't care about Mirror of Oaths because I still get my Gladiator Beast back or Murmillo. Swallow Flip will actually negate the card. And Swallow Flip also has the bonus of hitting Geyseris as well, so that's always nice. I have Mind Control and Brain Control also against the Mirror match. Against the Lightsworn, I have 3 Dimensional Fissure and Lightning Vortex. I love Dimensional Fissure as a side card, but I would never main it. Trap Stuns for anything Spell Trap oriented, and Ancient Forest for anything that isn't Glads or Lightsworn. I'm really cutting it close to the video limit, but that's my Gladiator Beast deck. That's the deck profile for this week. See you in 2 weeks with maybe Vayu Turbo, I don't know, but yeah, see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching, guys.